Good morning. I'm Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Deanna Blackman, Stampin DeDe, and this is Stampin Thursday, and I'm excited to be here with you. I do want to say, if you're watching this and you don't have a demonstrator, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, who helps you with your craft and with the supplies you may need and with any questions you may have, I would love to do that. And you could just email me or text me. My phone number is here on the website, on the Stampin' DeDe's Doings, and my email address is there. So, or you could comment. So I would love to help you with that. Today, we are going to look at cards made with one stamp. Now, I say that loosely because the one I'm going to demonstrate, I'm using two stamps. But I want you to see that this is an easy process to do with one stamp. And, you know, this is maybe for those who have not collected as many supplies as some of us have, and so we need to know how to make beautiful cards with the supplies that we have. Now, these cards are made, let's see, I think all three of them are made with this stamp set, Party Celebrations. And it's a newer set. I don't know. I don't know if it, let me see. I probably should have looked to see if it's in the new catalog. Let me look and see. So it must be online. It must be an online set. But it's a fairly new one, and when I saw the individual images that were on it, I thought, you know, I could use that in so many different ways. So the bat is this one, and actually the stars, I don't know if you can see the yellow stars. The pumpkin is this pumpkin. Isn't that a great pumpkin? I love that pumpkin. And then the leaf is this leaf right here. And you may have other sets that have single images like this too. So look at those. Look at your stamp sets and find something that you can use to create a single image background. And actually, the card that I'm going to demonstrate is not this set. It's a different one. All right, so let's look at these for just a minute. This one used the leaf, and I used 3 different colors, but you could just use one color. I did use, what is it called? Wishing, or Delightful Wishes, which can be purchased to create this Wishing You Well. So I wanted to see how using this word, this cutout word, would fit on here, and it really did a great job. So that's how I did that one. And then the inside, I just stamped a couple of the images to tie it together. With the envelope, you'd want to do the same thing. Maybe stamp a couple of the leaves on the envelope. All right, and that's that one. So this one then, I took the pumpkin image, and I believe I used Basic Beige and Lost Lagoon. So those are the 2 colors that I used, and then the stem is Pumpkin Pie. On this one, I stamped my image on the piece across the middle. I stamped my sentiment on the piece across the middle, and I did add a few gems. So that's something you can do to dress it up a little bit. I like the way it appears with this piece going from edge to edge. I like the appearance of that. It makes it look like the background is a continuous piece. It's not, but it makes it look that way. All right, and then this one, I wanted to use the bat. So I think I've mentioned maybe on one of my last videos that I'm making Halloween cards for my grandchildren. So this will go to one of them. Happy Boo Day. Now that sentiment is taken from Choose Happy. And Choose Happy gives you lots of options for your sentiments. This is 3 different words. Happy Boo Day. You could do happy birthday, happy autumn, choose joy, choose love, choose adventure, happy Easter. I mean, there's so many ways you can do this. And then it also gives you single images. And this pumpkin is also a good pumpkin to use. It's not as dimensional as this pumpkin. It's just the basic image. But sometimes that's all we need is a basic image. So this is Choose Happy. And that's how I got my sentiment. Happy Boo Day. All right. And I did use the stars. Did I mention that? From the party celebrations. And the bat and the stars inside. Tied a little bit of twine on that one. So there's lots of different ways that you can dress it up or keep it as simple as you want it to be. The sample that I'm going to show you today, I'm going to do a little more with than in any of these, but just to show you how you can step it up some. All right, so I think I'll just move these aside for now. And this is all you need. It's very few supplies. You need a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5. And the card that we're going to make today is using crumb cake. And it's 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And then you want another piece of the same cardstock, 4 by 3/4 inches. And that's your piece that's going to go across the front. And then you need a mat, and that'll be 4 by 5 1/4, and that's this piece. And I chose basic black. And then this piece, of course, is going to go right along here and make it look like the background, the card base is continuous. And then you need 2 pieces of white or very vanilla. This one is 3.5 by 2 1/4, and it's the one that's going to go right up here. And then this one is 3.5 by 1 3/4, and it's the one that's going to go right down here. And then you need another piece for the inside, the 4 by 5 1/4. All right, that's all you need. That's all that's required for this card. So what we're going to do first is our stamping. All right, so my stamps that I'm going to use are the clear, the photopolymer. So I'm going to use a mat. And actually, I'm going to turn it over because I'm going to stamp off the edge a little bit. And the set that I decided to use, I wanted to do something different. Those other 3 cards were fall and leaves and bats. And I wanted to show how to use a different stamp set. So let me push this up a little bit. I'm going to use Silly Safari. This is a stamp set that I've had so much fun with. And again, it's got your images. So I chose the cheetah and a palm frond. And I wanted to do the palm frond in the background stamped off. So we're going to use it first. And I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. But I'm going to bring in another piece of paper because I want to stamp off. I want it to be just a real light back behind the main image. And this is, like I said, I'm doing this one differently. Now let me see how that is. Yeah, that's what I want. So let me move this up here. And grab a piece of t-shirt because I got ink on my block and I don't want that on my card. Okay. I'm gonna stamp it off. And I'll start with down here. I'm just gonna stamp right there. Great. It's just gonna be a subtle piece in the background. Again, I got ink on my block. It's easy to do when your block is bigger than your stamp. Let me do that. I'm gonna stamp it off. Oops, looks like I didn't. I think that was, I'll stamp it off, and this time I think I'll come right up here. Looks like I didn't get the bottom stamped off. I want the bottom stamped off too. Okay. And come right there. And it doesn't matter if the whole image stamps. It's a background. And you're going to cover it up, basically. Okay, I'm going to stamp it off again. And come right here. Oh, boy, I am not stamping this off very well. I'm going to come right along here, maybe. And all right. Stamp down here. And stamp it off. And come right here, this edge. All right. Got that one done. Get this one done now. Stamp it off. And this time we're going to come this way, I think. Right there. We'll do this again. And stamp this way. You could do just this palm frond. You really could. You could do just a leaf or a flower or anything. Let's see. And I can see where I'm going to do one more this way, right here. All right, that's all I'm going to do. Let me, the one thing I didn't do, so let me grab a piece real quick. I didn't cut my inside piece, or maybe I did, yeah, I'm going to use that one. And so I want to go ahead and stamp a palm frond on the inside. I'm just going to stamp it right there. There we go. Now, I'm done with my palm frond. All right. Now for the main image. Put this aside, close up my Now, I'm going to use Memento, black Memento, for my cheetah. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do to make it look more like a cheetah. Now remember, this one's on the top, and this is the bottom. Okay. Get my cheetah. And I'm going to stamp it first, just to make sure. Oh, yeah. I love that. Love that cheetah. Okay. The first guy is going to go right here. Looky there. The next one he's gonna kind of be down here looking on. And then this one is gonna be right up here. Okay, and then we're gonna do them on this one, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do to make it look more like a cheetah. I think I just got there we go. Okay. Oh, and the inside, we want a cheetah right here on the inside. There we go. We got a cheetah. Okay, we clean this off. Now, cheetahs are really brown with the black spots. So I thought, okay, I can add a little bit of brown. This is crumb cake. And I'm just going to do it with a blending brush. So, you know, it's not going to be much, but it's going to be a little bit and make him just a little bit brown. See there? So we're going to do this one a little bit brown. Oh, perfect. And this one, and it doesn't matter if you get outside the lines. You're doing this with a blending brush. It's not meant to be exact. Let me get this one a little bit more. I don't know if you can see it, but it really gives it more of a cheetah look. It really, adding the brown just makes all the difference in the world. Okay, there we go. We're done with that. Now, we're ready to create our card. How simple is that? Oh, let me go ahead and do the sentiment on this middle piece. I'm going to line it up. And I decided to use the sentiment from Silly Safari. I'm using this one. Happy birthday, you party animal. Isn't that cute? I love the Hakuna Matata. You know, kids would love that. They would love that. All right. So we're going to do it in black. Bring our black back out. Get our sentiment. Make sure I'm going to actually stamp it first to make sure I got it inked up well. Yes. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to put it right here. Happy birthday, you party animal. Got it. All right. So let me look on here. If you're on here and you haven't said hello, hey, there's my husband. All right. So thanks for saying something. And if you're watching, let me know. All right. Now we're going to put our card together. So I'm going to fold this and give it a burnish with my bone folder so that it'll be nice and secure. Then I'm going to take my mat and get my adhesive and get it down. Oops. This is harder when I'm not right over the top of it, so bear with me there. Okay, now, this is how these are going to go. Now, if you decide you want to put ribbon around something, now's the time to do it before you put them down. You want to get it to the way you want it to look. And this is how I want mine to look. I am going to use some ribbon, I think. I've got some anyway to use. Look at that. Is that not cute? Oh, I tell you what. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I could pop these up, but I don't think I will. I think I'll pop this up. So I'm just going to put adhesive on this. You could, though. I did on some of those. One of them, at least, I think I did. Just depends on the look you want and what you're going to do with it. All right. I'm going to put him right up there. There's that one. And this one. And I'm going to put him right down here. And now this guy's going to go right in the middle, and I am going to pop it up. So I'll put dimensionals on the back. Happy birthday, you party animal. And you want to make sure it's flush up against your edges. And I did grab a piece of string. This is kind of a goldish off-white piece of ribbon. It's not string. I just thought, well, I'll try that. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, great. You could use anything. Twine, ribbon, depending on the look you want. And now, let's see. I'm not sure I like that color after all. Let me find something else. I've got other ribbons over here. I could use the black and white. You know what? I think that would look really good. I've got a piece of cut ribbon already over here, and it's black and white. And I think I actually have some black and vanilla too, and that might look even better. And I haven't even used any of this. So, yeah, this one's going to do even better. It's black and vanilla. Yeah. Yay. Okay. I'm going to get a piece of... I didn't cut off very much, did I? Let me start over. I didn't cut off very much. I did that in a hurry. All right. Tighten it. Pull it in. Tighten it one more time. All right, I'm going to turn it over to this side. And now I need to decide where I want to put this. Maybe just right there. Of course, if this is going to a guy, you may or may not want ribbon. You know, you just have to make it work for you. What about right there? I could cut the, I might do that and cut the tails off a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Use my glue dot on the back. I'm putting it right up against the words. Happy birthday, you party animal. And I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors because I don't have much ribbon to play with on here. So I'll grab my ribbon scissors because they cut so well. See how easy they cut? I don't use these for anything except ribbon. And they just do beautifully. Okay. Now you could add gems. I didn't pull out any to use, but you could do that. I'm going to put the inside in. That's a really easy card. It doesn't take much in the way of supplies. So you could back this with black if you wanted to mat it. All right. Happy birthday, you party animal. There we go. Using just these supplies right here. We'll put that bow somewhere else. Yeah, I think that turned out really well. Really, really cute. What kid would not enjoy getting that? All right, here are the others. Let's look at them again. I want to make sure you can see all of them. And move these up and put your instructions right down here. All right, what do you think? It would be an easy card to make, wouldn't it? Hi, Kay. You know, it really did turn out cute, didn't it? I just wasn't sure how this one would turn out, but yeah, I'm really pleased with all of these, and I just want to emphasize that that does not take very much in the way of supplies. So if you're just starting out and wanting to use the stamp sets that you've got, or maybe you need to get a stamp set that like this Party Celebrations with some very basic images. You could do Christmas. Easily you could do Christmas. And it's also got backgrounds and borders. Let me show you a card. It's actually going to be a card that we're going to make in a coming up class. But there I used that border. You see the border there? A simple way. And using this stamp set made this card. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I've inspired you to especially if you've been hesitant about what to do with what few stamps you've got, then I hope that this has inspired you to get them out and use them and make a card. And you know what? I would send this card to anybody. So any of these. So you don't have to be just a beginner to use this technique. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you need a demonstrator to help you out and work with you, I would love to be that person. I love Stampin' Up. I love their products. And I love sharing what I learn with you. All right, thank you. I know it was a short one today, but it didn't take much to make this card. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. And next week, we're going to use color and ink. You know, I love ink, and I love using my inks. So we're going to focus on ink and colors next week, next Thursday. And then the Thursday after that, we're going to do a fun fold. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for doing that. Please click like. Please click like and share it. Share it with someone that you think might benefit from seeing how to use your stamps. I appreciate all of you. And I will see you next Stampin' Thursday. Bye-bye.